Kid Brewer Stadium, the site of this tight one in the fourth quarter between Georgia State and App State. Daron Vaught, Stan Luter with you. Stan, what do you think of those mountain houses there?
I love them. I mean, and
I have a nice view of the field.
You could. Absolutely. Great TV reception, I know. I would love to stay in there, provided this got great heat. That's why if I got heat, I'm there.
Starting to get a little bit of a chill in the air in Boone, North Carolina, as Georgia State hands off to Tucker Gregg for a short gain. Looks like he's going to be given 2 yards on the first down carry.
You try to go inside out with a Tucker Gregg, a guy that gets those hard, tough yards inside. And if you're Appalachian State now, this is a time you've got to be a sure tackler. You know, if you can get a strip, great, but you got to get the guy to the ground. Now every snap of the football is more and more valuable if you're Georgia State.
Brown, the play fake to Gregg. He has him on the wheel route, looking downfield the entire way. And again, he wanted Carter, the tight end, but a great play catching up by Caden Smith.
Too much time to throw the football, but great recovery by Caden Smith. We talked about a few moments ago the great play that the White made for Georgia State. This is an equally great defensive play. Caden Smith closing in, waits to the last second. You've got that tight end sneaking down the field, down the seam, and Caden Smith gets in and makes a deflection. Big-time defensive play by the Mountaineers.
That's a big matchup, a fun matchup. Senior versus senior down the field in a big moment. And it brings up 3rd down and 8 for Georgia State.
But look how quickly Carter got down the field from a tight spot. This is huge.
Brown looking up the middle again. He wants Carter again. Right into his arms, it seemed, but it drops to the grass and is incomplete.
What a great matchup. What great coverage once again. And we've talked about this young man all afternoon. DeMarco Johnson, and watch Johnson matched up with the tight end, go stride for stride. That's a ball Carter wishes he could have all over again. But at the last second, you see Jackson kind of get his hand in there and knock it away or hit his elbow. 2 big plays defensively, the last 2 plays for Appalachian State. Ooh.
High snap, Michael Hayes to punt it. It's low, end over end, so a wacky bounce. Lets it dribble inside the 25 where Georgia State will down it at the 23 of App State, and they trail by 3.
You know, you gave up some yardage that time on the kick return, but I like the fact that you didn't try to gamble, try to make the play, and you fumble or something. You know, they give up about 10 or 12 yards. They can get that back. A turnover is hard to give up right now.
There you see a reminder. This is the 7th meeting of all time. Georgia State with every ticking second getting closer potentially to winning their first ever game against Appalachian State. With the Mountaineers offense, I'm sure something to say about that here with 9.5 to play. Thomas the fake handoff. Plenty of room in the pocket. He bounces out of it to the 35 and leaps out of bounds. He'll be down at the 37-yard line. Good scramble for first down.
The best running game that the Appalachian State's had this afternoon has been the backside running of their quarterback. And again, nothing downfield. First look was taken away. Second look was there. You know the backside's probably going to be there. And alertly takes it, picks up about 15 yards, keeps those chains moving for the Mountaineers.
Thomas, the leading rusher for App State today. He's now got 39 yards on the ground. Hands it off. Virgil sheds a tackler in the backfield and can't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
If you're watching this football game and you're just a neutral observer, you're not cheering for any team, one thing you're seeing is a lot of white in the backfield. They have done a really good job, that of Georgia State, of controlling the line of scrimmage this afternoon. And we're looking at those numbers, and they've got a guy in Strawn that's led the team in tackles for loss, but they've got, I think, about 18 guys that have had at least 1 tackle behind the line of scrimmage or tackle for loss this season.
And the medical staff looking at Trajan Stevens-McQueen, the senior inside linebacker from Charlotte, North Carolina.
He's a local guy. You know, he's glad to be home.
Preseason all-conference in the Sun Belt, 4th all-time on the Georgia State tackles
Take a look
list.
at the end of the play. Keep your eye on number 6. Bam and bam. Shoulder versus head.
He stumbled toward the end there. Thought he was going to be able to get up to his feet. He'll get looked at on the sideline and exit competition for now. 2nd and long for App State. Play fake. Thomas rolls out on the run. Gives up the middle. Pass caught by Miller Gibbs. And then some. The first down achieved, and he somehow got into Panthers territory.
Watch Miller Gibbs at the end of the play. He's right at the line to gain the initial contact. Watch this, but lowers his head, bam, keeps those legs turning, moving, grooving, first down.
That's excellent balance on the catch and turn. You saw his right hand to keep his body upward. Now Thomas, another play action, this time trying to roll out. And nowhere to go. Goes out of bounds. You hear some oohs out of the crowd. They want a late hit on their quarterback.
And Thomas is getting up very, very slow. And I'm not certain if he's not getting up at all.
Certainly.
I'm not sure if what I'm saying when he was hit, if his leg didn't get caught in that the mesh, the tarp that they used to alignment tarp. Huseman will come in.
Yeah, you see Jacob Huseman, the senior of Bradenton, Florida, played against 2 opponents in 2018. So now Huseman will take the snap. Motions Peoples out of the backfield. Gives him on the bubble screen. Cuts up the middle. Peoples near a first down. He'll come up a yard short, but a great play.
Okay, let's go back to this play one more time. Nowhere to go. Goes to the outside. Gets the block. And here's a late hit. Yeah, that's right in the white. But see the hit, and then he goes into the stuff. Okay, and yeah, they've got every reason to want a late hit on that play. But I have yet to see Thomas get up. I'm keeping my eyes on that and almost miss Huseman's pass. We'll keep you alerted.
He's still on the ground as Huseman hands off up the middle. Again, I started to mention Huseman's experience. 2 games he saw action in 2018, 5 games last year. And it seems like they're looking at Thomas's hip over here on the sideline. And again, like we said, he's still on top of that tarp meshy surface.
And they use it to get everybody's alignment. You see it on every team's sideline.
And there you see them checking out Zach Thomas, the senior quarterback for App State, while we get the change out to measure potentially for an App State first down, and it looks like they're going to get it.
So now for Huseman, you know it's going to be the short passing game, if anything. Don't try to be the hero right now. Just run your offense. He's a veteran. He understands what's got to do. You've got to get over right now the shock that your quarterback, your leader, is out of the ball game. Doesn't look too good right now for that. But for now, you've got to worry about what's going on the football field, and the hands are in Jacob Huseman, the senior.
It's a 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers.
Be very interested to hear the explanation of the non-late hit at the end of this ball game.
Huseman hands to Peoples again. A short game before he's swallowed up at the hash mark.
What you've got to do if you're Appalachian State now is you've got to refocus. You've got to recenter your energy. They're going to take care of your quarterback. Yeah, you're mad about the hit now, but you've got to go out and execute. 2nd down and long.
Receives the snap, fakes the handoff this time. Nearly no time to throw, but almost gets it to Malik Williams, though he overthrew him on the out route.
Pressure on the inside, good cover to the outside. Williams nearly able to make the call. to make the catch. And now, if you're App State, you're in a dilemma. It's third down, third and about 8. I think right now with 5:54, this is 2 down, 2-play territory. I don't think you punt. You've got to try to get the first down, keep the chains moving.
6 for 14 on third downs today, but this is Huseman's first, obviously. 8 to gain for the first. Protection is there. Huseman gives up the middle. It's Hennigan with the catch, the first down, and he shuffles his feet inside the hash mark to get a little bit extra.
Big time throw by Huseman. Steps in, knows he's going to get contact, knows he's going to get hit, but the leading receiver, the steady guy, comes up with the big catch that time by Thomas Hennigan.
It's his second catch of the day. Hasn't been that involved. As 1st and 10 from the 22. And Huseman walks up to the line of scrimmage. Another handoff. Peoples. A big gap up the middle. Finds his way near the 10 as he's brought down. And that's another App State first down.
You have to execute right now if you're Appalachian State. And now for Georgia State, you've been a tough, stifling, aggressive ground game defense this entire football game. Right now is not the time to let down. A little fussing and fighting right now, a little pushing and shoving. That's okay, it's football.
I mean, in a tight game like this, I would expect no less.
This could be a 30-second timeout.
Entering huddles for the timeout called by Georgia State. That's their first of the second half. So 2 timeouts remaining for both teams.
And it's easy, if you're an Appalachian State fan now, to get distracted for a few moments because you know your quarterback is down, and as soon as we know something, you'll know something. But you've got to now lock in and find some plays, and it's going to be a shortened series of things. What are the plays that Huseman are most comfortable for? Roll him out half pocket like we've seen Thomas. Understand it can't be late, long developing plays. You're not going to give him an opportunity to read defense and coverages. You're in the red zone area, so it's got to be simple things. It's power. It's some misdirection counter plays. Try to see if you can get somebody in some, in some jet motion maybe. But it's got to be ways to execute and make it smooth, for lack of a better term. Not a lot of gimmickry right now. If nothing else for Appalachian State, you get the field goal.
Huseman back in after the timeout. 1st and goal from the 10. Gives Peoples wide open space up the middle, and he falls into the end zone. Cam Peoples with the touchdown, and he makes it 16-13 App State.
The biggest and best hole all night long came on that particular play, and Peoples finds a happy zone. When we get a chance to look at this again, watch the offensive line, the surge, and we talk about them all year long, but Hannon and Newsel and Garrison, they did the job that particular time. 51 Hunter. Hardy 74.
And Staten's extra point attempt is up and in. That makes App State leaders by 4.
Watch the surge there. You see that block right there, the block down by Hardy. Clears the hole. Peoples, you could have run through that hole right there. Watch this. Bam, bam, hat on the hat. 74 gets the kick in. There it is. Too late. Touchdown, Mountaineers.
His 4th touchdown score of the season, and it gives the Mountaineers the lead in the 4th, just under 5 minutes remaining. A big catch by Thomas Hennigan following the entry of backup quarterback Jacob Huseman, a big part of this series as well.
And this is a team in Georgia State that's been here before. They've lost 3 ball games. They really consider it 2 because they were never, ever in the Coastal Carolina game. But there are other 2 games they lost by 7 and 3 points respectively. One of those games being in overtime. So they have played some close ball games. Let's see if this time they can find a way to win it.
Riker Casey's kick, fair catch. And it'll be a touchback. So Georgia State will begin on their own 25, but there's a scuffle inside of that. Several players getting into shoving matches. You see some helmets removed on the outskirts.
Good bit of officiating. I love it. The coaches are out. And the reason I say good bit of officiating on this play, there's no flags that have been thrown that I've seen. They're going to talk about this thing. But a penalty is going to be huge, whichever team is the culprit. Penalty right now against Georgia State pushes them back 15. Half distance to go. Penalty against Appalachian gives Georgia State 4:55 and 2 timeouts and gives them about 15 yards of an advantage. They'll move that ball out to the 40.
And as you said, both coaches out here, the players that got back to the sideline, waving their arms up into the air, revving up these 2,100 or so fans.
Well, Coach Clark is still upset about the late hit on their quarterback, Thomas, a few minutes ago. So, you know, he's fired up, but he goes out and gets his guys in the cooler heads, and both coaches, Coach Clark and Coach Elliott.
And you see Thomas being carted away. So he was moving his legs when he was down on the ground. You just hope it's nothing so severe, but you never like to see the cart come out.
We will find out as soon as we know something. Joey Jones and Brett Strelo, the SIDs, are the best at the business, along with Allison George down at Georgia State. But Brett and Joey will let us know, and we'll let you know. And our thoughts and prayers right now are going to Zach Thomas, and that's all I can say about it. That's all I know. So that's it. But I know Brett and Joey will tell us, because they're good guys, and a lot of people in Mountaineer land are wondering and waiting and hoping and praying.
From the 25, a 1st and 10. The pass tipped up and nearly picked off. The Mountaineers almost had a humongous takeaway.
Who was it? Guy we've talked about all afternoon, Mr. Jackson. Drops in coverage. Brown under pressure, coming right at you. Gets a hand on it. Gets another hand on it.
Oh.
But wasn't able to grab it. But hey, you gotta love that. Love the effort. He has had one heck of a ball game tonight.
He had even fingertips of 2 separate hands on that last attempt there. The pitch to Coates, and he runs out of bounds after a gain of 1.
You look at big plays. If Appalachian State's able to hold him on this drive, you mark that down as another one of those big plays that help you win ball games. Georgia State had one earlier in the game, early in this minute, when he had the deep pass to Pinckney. Boom. Now, 3rd down. Do you bring pressure? Always the threat of a quarterback running the football.
A big 3rd down. Georgia State trailing.
Empty.
Brown looking downfield, goes up the middle, and it's broken up. Play made by Trey Cobb, but there's a flag.
Are they going to say he got there early? Rush 3, dropped in the deep zone. Remember, it was a 3rd down and 9.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
Automatic 1st down, as is signaled by referee Marshall Lewis there. That is a big break for Georgia State.
My first look, you're watching a lot of things, and I didn't think was pass interference. But that, again, that's one quick view. I'd like to look at that again, and we maybe can take. But nevertheless, doesn't matter what I see. Here's what they did. 1st and 10 for Georgia State.
Fake handoff to Coates, and the pocket collapses. Brown had nowhere to go.
And Brown was there. There was a receiver in the area deep enough, but the play took so long, and good coverage. And again, Demetrius Taylor, who's had 3 sacks on the season. They talk about how valuable he is to that front line. Comes up along with Hampton, who's had a solid ball game, and makes the sack on Brown.
It's a loss of 7, 2nd and 17. Brown going down the sideline, and the pass is incomplete. As Sean Jolly there on the defense for the Mountaineers. Looked to be pretty decent placement on the pass, but Destin Coates coming out of the backfield.
Okay, you've got good cover corners for Appalachian State. We know that Georgia State's got some explosive wide receivers and tight ends that can get down the field. Does Dale Jones decide to roll the dice and put an extra man, put a little more pressure on it? They're going to rush forward this time.
On third, Brown goes up the middle. Again, it's knocked away. Sean Jolly to make the play for the Mountaineers.
Flag on the play. I'm thinking late hit, roughing the quarterback.
It seems as if it would be back toward the backfield.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 75.
Okay.
Bruce Hayes.
Okay.
Note the play is an incomplete pass, 4th down.
So it remains 4th and long, very long, for Georgia State.
I think they said it was on Gilmore. Yeah, Gilmore 75 with the face mask. Same equation as if it had been a hold. So, again, you punt it, you ask your defense to hold them, but a good defensive stand that time by the Mountaineers. Jolly and John Charles, who have been the anchors of the defensive secondary for the last couple of seasons, make the big plays along with the pressure.
Michael Hayes, another low spinning punt, high hop, favors Georgia State as Malik Williams lets it roll back to the 26, 25-ish is where it's down, and that's where the Mountaineers will begin their next possession. Okay,
let's play the time game. I think if you're Appalachian State, obviously you've got to keep the chains moving, keep the clock moving. Houston's had a chance now to kind of settle in. He's going to run the show. He's going to take you home. You get the ball into your outstanding running backs. You get the ball in their hands. You let them make plays. 72 yards in the second half. Not great, but much better than that 41. The swing soft passes. My question, though, is if you're Georgia State, how soon do you use your timeouts if you can get the stop?
It's a good question. A couple of timeouts remaining for each team as the first play from scrimmage, a handoff for the Mountaineers as Cameron Peoples gets about halfway to the first down marker and just past the 30. And some extra whistles at the end of the play, perhaps to break up some extracurricular activity.
Well, if you're Appalachian State right now, you get a good look at Hardy, who had that key block a moment ago. You want to keep the clock moving. You want to get off the football, and they feel like they found something in the last couple of possessions. They're aided by a penalty, it appears.
Well, there was a flag down. It was picked up.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty.
And face mask against the defense is the call, so it moves it down even further for App State.
Came off during the play.
Ball now spotted at the 46 of the Mountaineers.
Wasn't able to pick up the number. I think it might have been on Stevens McQueen.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
That's what I heard as well, number 6.
Yeah.
And now Georgia State is going to take their second timeout of the second half with 3:25 left here. And Stan, I think your point stands in reference to the time game. You want to run out the clock. The running game has not been as effective as you would like it to be in order to do so. But if Georgia State's going to help you out with a penalty here or there,
well, the play would have given you about 5 or 6 yards for the Mountaineers. So you got to think that they wouldn't have started the next play until about maybe 250. Middle left. See, middle of the screen. Keep your eye on number 6. It wasn't on the ball carrier. They're right there. Watch there. Okay, so the play right there is 6 on 74 Hardy. You watch the ball, it wasn't there.
Ripped his helmet off even.
But nevertheless.
Now Huseman, another give. Peoples bottled up.
Now, if Georgia State elects to call their timeout, which it looks like they're going to do, now Appalachian State's got to protect the football, get off the football, your offensive lineman, protect it, and you need one more first down.
No timeouts remaining for the Panthers.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you need to get this first down. If you pass the ball, it's got to be, I think right now, it's got to be something a safe pass.
Huseman on that first series in which he replaced Zach Thomas, 2 for 3 passing for 26 yards.
But I'll be very honest with you. I as explosive as Georgia State's offense has been, I don't know that I'd throw the football at all. I really don't. They may. But the most important thing is right now the clock and one of first down.
Another give. Cam Peoples up the middle, galloping his way over a couple of defenders, through some, and pushing his way to about an 8-yard gain.
But that's okay.
Up about a yard
That's
short.
okay, because the play clock started at 3:06. Okay, that's fine. That's fine for Appalachian State purposes. Okay, for Georgia State, it's not, because they're going to milk every second of this.
Now under 3 minutes to play.
And if you don't get, you got to think quarterback sneak or some type of dive with the running back. But if you don't get it, if you're the Mountaineers, then you certainly try to get it on 4th down. But that clock continues to move. They won't start. They won't snap this ball till about 2:30 maybe. It's even less than that.
Shot clock down, or excuse me, the play clock down to 1.
Not yet.
Second charge timeout.
A timeout called.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah.
So a timeout for Sean Clark and company. And thinking things through from Georgia State's perspective, needless to say, they need a touchdown if they retain possession without App State scoring. So as much time as possible is ideal. You have the kicker in Ruiz, who could, in different circumstances, get a longer field goal attempt to matter for you, but that's not going to be the case.
Or if you could get, these are obviously hypotheticals, but we've seen this happen in football games. You get a stop, you get the ball back under a minute, under 15, you score very quickly. It's a team that can score fast, and then maybe you score, either you get the field goal in and then try to get the onside kick. We know the onside kick success rate hasn't been that great the last couple of years. But, I mean, there are some scenarios, but the most important thing, I think, for Georgia State is that they have to get stops, and then their offense has got to be ready to hit the field running.
1 foot in front of the other in either case. If you're App State, you need to get this first down. If you're Georgia State, you need to prevent it from happening.
Power set.
Huseman, another give up the middle. Will it be enough? It looks close to the marker. Right around a 1-yard gain for Peoples, who has been a workhorse in this second half.
Got it.
And a first down for the Mountaineers.
Got it by about a nose of the football.
They extend the drive, no measurement needed. And it'll be 1st and 10.
Now the Mountaineers will use every drop of the clock. and it's a very difficult feeling, because Georgia State defensively, you held an Appalachian State team to 17 points. And this is a team that has been noted to play big and do things in big moments. And you've played them play for play. And it may not be enough. Funny thing about it is the Mountaineers are right on their defensive average pretty much. 17 points what they give up 13.
The fake to Peoples this time.
Smart play by Peoples.
Gibbs.
Smart play. They throw the pass, safe pass, but instead of trying to get extra yards or either try to go out of bounds, picks up about 7, goes down, clock continues to run.
And how about the play call? Again, it looked like
it was
going
safe.
to be another give to Peoples up the middle.
Wow. How much confidence will this give Huseman going into next week that things didn't look good for Thomas? I'm just saying what we saw. Don't know anything.
Sure, but if in fact it is Huseman's game,
he's got to go in, and that should seal it. That first down should seal it.
Peoples again through traffic, getting the first down. And you mentioned that Coastal Carolina matchup, a ranked Chanticleers team. App State much like this matchup, 6-0 versus the Chanticleers.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be coach. I'm gonna be the Grinch of football right now.
Go ahead.
Don't worry about Coastal Carolina right now. Don't worry about. You know, they'll be there. Saturday will be here soon enough. Enjoy this win, because there are things that you're going to have to work on, because if Coastal plays at their norm and you play like you play, getting them might not be the best thing that could have ever happened to you. I'm just kind of keeping it real. You know, that's how it is. This is a great win for Appalachian State and a very tough loss for Georgia State, because the defense dominated today. I'm very impressed with them.
And the Panthers, to boot, dominated the first half. It was looking really good for Georgia State, but App State somehow scrapes and claws their way to a victory, 17-13 as the clock hits 0.
But you know the great thing about it? It wasn't pretty, but you got a W. And you see the two longtime friends, the coaches, get together, and hey, now you can enjoy it. Say, now you want to talk about Coastal? Go ahead.
Good to see Sean Clark of App State and Sean Elliott of Georgia State, as you mentioned, embracing at midfield. Former teammates, they've both coached on staffs here at App State. And then, again, the matchup, I know you don't want to talk about it, Stan.
Oh, you can now. I mean, no, you can't. I mean, really. I mean, you can now, because there it is. And it's going to be on national TV, 12 o'clock. And, you know, I'm either trying to get a credential to go, or either my cable bill is paid, so I'll be able to watch the game. But, yeah, it's a great – Coastal Carolina's had a heck of a season.
It's been a marquee year for the Chanticleers, who are undefeated, ranked, and they keep that undefeated mark as they did not play today.
And it's a type of game you should be excited about. But right now, you know, our thoughts go out to Zach Thomas, and congratulations to Appalachian State in a very, very difficult loss.
So for Stan Luter, I'm Daron Vaught saying so long from Boone, North Carolina, and Kid Brewer Stadium, where the final score is App State 17, Georgia State 13. To watch the entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.